All right, what's going on here, mate? What do we got?
We've got the rail on.
Roller Ridgemount.
What do you call it? Ridgemount on?
Roller Ridgemount. We've got a playlist on this if you want information. What's that, a 6mm, and it's got the wobble extension. They can be a bit hard to get through the holes. You can see the angles kind of like, yeah, because the bolt's sort of over here. So you're doing that bit of an angle. I've got a cut off Allen key as well, which comes in handy. I'm not going to repeat sort of all the stuff we've already done in the other videos on the Roller Ridgemount. What I mainly wanted to say, I've got a jack here, which is the possibly, you know, it could be the new apprentice. So we might be saying here at the Pride Hospital, we can get some extra work done. We'll see how things work out. Let's just say he's on trial at the moment. He might find something better to do after he spent a bit of time here with me. We'll just see what happens. But we're just taking the Roller Ridgemount and the Titan tray off the retired diesel 120. And one of the other 120s, this is the petrol 120. I'm not changing to a petrol. I've got still two other diesel 150s, but one of the vehicles is a V6, and we're going to be able to have a real awesome comparison from the old diesel 120 there. See, it's got the roof rails on, so the economy on that one's going to get really good. All the gear out of that's coming off that one onto this one. The economy on this one, which was already worse than the diesel loaded, but it's about to get worse, because this was stock standard, you know, it's nice and light in the back seat, it's all empty and all that. So we're gonna have some real world fuel economy results. I do love the V6 as well, but it's just not my ideal choice. So when you're reinstalling these, you gotta put the rubber butyl patches down, you gotta put the rubber washer things, they gotta go around the plastic, don't pull the plastic or break that out. Your bolt holes have gotta be clear, and you gotta have some sealant on your bolts, because you must not have water going down past these bolts. So if you've got a 120 or a 150 Pride or any other car and you've got a water leak, you can check your sunroof drain holes is the first thing. And your next thing, if you've got a wet seat belt, it's very crucial to make sure you sort that out, because if it leaks in here, to wet your seat belt, you know, whichever one. The one at the front, it can run down the pillar along the windscreen onto your electronics, your computer, can get really expensive after you break down or after your car doesn't start. So if you've ever installed a roof rack, it is imperative that you've got all these rubber seals in place and some sealant on the threads to absolute guarantee water doesn't go down in there. And yeah, this is the thing. What you do if you can't get off, turn it a little bit more and then pull it, because it comes down to the angle. So turn it a bit more, turn a bit, and then it's a pain in the butt. There it is.
One without stabbing yourself in the face.
That's it, exactly. Right, so fun and games, and you got to work this one, that one, this one, that one. I'd probably say at this point, yeah, go all the way on these two, then do the middle two, then do the front two, because they're pretty well all the way in now, aren't they? That's it. Yeah, I've got a cut off Allen key that fits in here as well, but yeah, I don't know, I might go grab it. Got my dodgy cut Allen key, and the idea is, because if it's straight, it hits the metal there. If it's long, like up to here, and so I think it was is it a 6mm? Can you check that? I think it's a 6. So
yeah,
people
6, H6.
Oh yeah, so it's got definitely got more in it with this. So what we'll do, we'll go over all of them with this until it's all the way in. So how that handle, it doesn't give you the leverage you want. That's pretty well all the way there. I'm feeling that.
Okay.
Right, so I've done that one. Let's just see how you can count how many turns on this one, how many more turns. That's about nearly a quarter to catch up with the other one. Not even a quarter. Times 3, it's starting to feel like the other one. That's very
Happy?
tight. Yeah, that's very, but I'm going to go back to this one anyway, in case, you know what I mean, because it's squashing the rubber down.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's done. That one's done. All right, if you do the other 4 at that side, even I'll be happy.
All right.
All right, mate, how's that in looking? Looking all right?
Beautiful. Straight in.
Okay, that's what you want. Is anything that helped it go straight in?
Just the preparation, mate. All in the preparation.
What was the prep?
Just lining up those little sticky pads with the washers.
So take a bit of extra time
Yep.
to line up the sticky butyl patches.
Yep.
It's easy to do with that, but this is good to tighten it up at the end, but I'm just doing it for something to do. Yeah, so take the extra time to line up the patches. So this is things I didn't say in the other videos we've got on this. And if check our other YouTube channel, 4x4 Adventures instead of 4x4 Diesel, if you like this one so far and you're still around. Because besides the travels and the track information and the how to use your vehicle, you'll find more probably information like this, battery setups and touring setups and all that. Yeah, much easier for that. Let's leave that there. I think what you're doing. So check out 4x4 Adventures. Spelt the same as 4x4 Diesel, except Adventures instead of Diesel. Oh, good work, mate. Now, so what we worked out so far with the new apprentice on trial is he set up his side of the car better than I set up mine, so that's good. And he got all the bolts started, no hassle, where sometimes they can be a bit of a pain to get started because, again, it's all that black stuff getting in the way of the threads, so you want to keep it clean. So, so far, so good. Let's see, eh? Starting to look better, but, mate, it's looking a bit crooked there. Where are we going wrong? We just lifted it on. We haven't lined it up yet. So now, for anybody that wants to do this, how hard they are to put on and off, or how easy. So these 2 bolts, there's 6 sets of those. So 12 bolts and this whole tray lifts off. You can leave your Starlink mounts as crappy as they are. Some of the quality on them, and these just crushed down. It's just 3D printed. I wouldn't recommend that. It's a good design system, but it's not very strong. But we're not here to talk about that one. The K-On Max Trucks folding mounts are awesome. But we've just got to straighten up, line it up. Solar panel, that's why that's dirty. Solar panel will go back there. Good gun for that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Perfect amount of torque. Beautiful. All right, last one. And then that is a Ridgemount. Hey, I'll give you a bit of info about the Ridgemount, everyone, since we're talking about it, moving it from one car to the other. Yeah, be careful aligning the patches and the rubber washers and all that. Put some sealant on the bolts. And use your nice gun to put these in. This is just a little, whatever it is, that one. And then go back and check the other one next to it, just in case. Because when you tighten this one, and then tighten that one, then this one might be loose. May I turn a bit? I'll go check all the other ones again. Beautiful. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. So this is made in Australia, the Ridgemount from stainless. And it's got the powder coat on it. This one's probably not made in Australia. So when you're putting your Allen keys and you scratch it, don't worry, it's not going to go rusty like those cheap roof racks you get from, you know, the ones. And you got, 12 bolts holding this down, mate. This is, I don't know how to say, this is so, like, rock solid. It's just unbelievable. So what goes on here? I can put the Max Tracks, the swag, couple of swags. I've had gazebos and self-inflating mattresses, tents. You know, you can put a whole heap of stuff up here. But at the moment, my current setup's going to be solar panel stays there, Max Trucks stays there. If the swag needs to go outside, it'll go over the top. That's why there's all these tie-down points installed about there. The Starlink might go there. And I think I've got a bit of spare space then, so not much. Shovel goes over that side. Awning goes over on this side here, on the passenger side, and there's a rear awning that can go on the back as well. So it's there for quite a few things, and they just get added and subtracted to and from each car as required. And no discount code on roller.com.au. I've asked for it. They obviously don't want to do that, so up to you where you buy it from. All I'm going to say is their website's full retail. They have sales once or twice a year where you get, I think, at least 30% off. That's probably the time to buy if you can hold off. Other than that, they're resellers that they probably sell to at half price. Sell cheaper than them at probably a good 10 to 15% off full retail. So shop around or wait for the sale. Catch you on the next video. See ya.